Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am back for an exciting day. I've been pretty excited for this all day. I got done making thumbnail and stuff, so it's actually getting later in the day, which is kind of crappy. But we're here for Gundam, and we're moving on to episode 2 and maybe episode 3. We'll play it by ear. The plan in future is definitely to watch 2 episodes per reaction per video and stuff, but we'll play it by ear here. And see if there's too much to talk about after episode 2. Then maybe we'll just watch episode 2, but most likely we're gonna watch episodes 2 and 3. We're here for Gundam. Now, the first time that I sat down to watch Gundam, I didn't know really what to expect. I knew it was an old show that a lot of people really like, and that blossomed into one of the biggest franchises on planet Earth. But I didn't know if I was gonna like it. I didn't know if it was gonna look like trash or not. And the answer was not. It looks really good and it was really fun and I found it very exciting. I found the storytelling really simple but relatable and vibable and a blast, a literal blast as a bunch of Zeons come and attack Side 7 and destroy basically everything and everyone that our main character knows and loves. Although he seems a little bit disconnected from society, still destroy everything that he knows and loves. So he ends up hopping into the giant robot that his father, Lieutenant Ray, helped to design and create as the spearhead of our resistance against the Zeon's weird war of independence, brother against brother conflict sort of thing, with all sorts of undertones and overtones about war and how rough it is. And now he's becoming a hero. He destroyed some enemy Zeon Gundam thing. Zeon, they're not Gundams. They're robots. And fucked some shit up, and it was really fucking cool. Pink explosions, cool animation, cool style, cool designs, because they goddamn better be cool designs, because we gotta design toys based on the design so that we can sell toys to the children. And it worked. It all worked for me. I really liked the first episode. I thought it was a pretty solid first episode. And at this point, I want to meet some characters. I want to meet some characters. I want to see robots do. Okay. I want to understand more. Now, that being said, we are still in the middle of a massive crisis situation, and I don't know if Commander Char is going to allow this little defeat to go unpunished. I think he's probably going to keep attacking. Considering that this episode is called Destroy Gundam, and I don't think that's like Destroy Gundam, like Lightning Bolt Pikachu. This is Lightning Bolt the Pikachu, or Destroy the Gundam. So I figure that Char's gonna be a little bit pissed here. I'm excited to find out a lot more about all of these characters. I'm excited to see some more Gundam goodness. I'm excited to understand where we're going with this show and start setting up a cast of characters that can go through semi-repeatable adventures and have a bit of a storyline going here. But I'm also just excited to dig into this piece of older media and see what it has in store for us. I don't think I've got too much more to say here at the beginning. I said everything that I wanted to say about episode 1 after watching episode 1. And I'll say what I want to say about episode 2 after watching episode 2. If you're joining us, if you're joining me on this journey, thank you for coming along. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I know because the response to episode 1 has already been extraordinary, that there are a lot of people watching Gundam for the first time. I got a lot of comments in both the Discord and on YouTube saying that, wow, I've always wanted to check out the first Gundam and see where the hell this all came from and where it all started, and this gives me the like push or the inspiration to go ahead and do that, and that's super exciting. There were also a bunch of comments from people who have seen this before and love it to pieces. Pretty much no comments from any, I guess they just wouldn't watch the video, but pretty much no comments from anybody who was like, yeah, Gundam's not that great, it's not that cool, I mean, I've seen it and blah blah blah. None of that shit. People are either into it or they haven't seen it yet, and that is a very exciting place to be, because I am in the haven't seen it yet category, and I am looking forward to moving into the into it category. Into it technologies. Okay, sorry. I'm definitely a little wacky this morning, but that's because it's later in the day and I'm more awake than I usually am when I start recording. but we're here for Mobile Suit Gundam Episode 2, Destroy Gundam. And I'm really excited to get onto this OP because I really like it. I've listened to it a couple of times since watching the first episode, and I'm looking forward to that first Moe Agare. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Let's do this. So I've got Episode 2 of Mobile Suit Gundam, still using the Zeta Rebel version because nobody has told me to do otherwise, and people seem to be happy with it. I've got it up and ready to go. It's at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction per usual. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there in the corner, down there in the description, and a timer-based version on YouTube. You can also find the next reaction on the Patreon, which is also linked in the description, and that'll be up there sometime the same day that this goes live on YouTube. So when you see this video and you finish it and you want more Gundam, go to the Patreon and you could get some more Gundam. And also thank you for everyone who is supporting this show. There was a pretty solid influx of new patrons and people like, yes, Gundam, let's do this. So that's always really good and really cool as a creator to see that kind of a response and people getting into it. So yeah, it's super exciting. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Let's watch some Gundam. So I think I already said episode 2, blah, 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 blah. There will be a timer-based version, which you can find on the YouTube. If you want to sync up your own copy of the Gundams with the YouTube timer-based version, you are welcome to do so. Just get your copy ready because the beep beep timer to count you down to 0 is coming at you right now. Let's go. That little trill is stuck in my head. Hmm. Henshin. I want to meet that blonde girl. She's so cute. Ah. Wait, is that guy... I forgot his name. That's the young lieutenant or like the young officer who Lieutenant Ray talked to, right? Is his name Salt? It was something silly like that. And the shield, yeah. I wanted to incorporate something about that in the thumbnail, so I used the shield for the side thing. Okay, so this is all part of the intro. Cool. Didn't know that. I thought that might be an episode 1 only thing. Yep. And yep. Crazy. Jesus. Well, can we shoot those rockets down? Oh, that's really fun. Rapid decompression. Oh, that's fucking cool. Yeah, they're pulled by the force of the air anyway. Oh, is that the girl who flew away? Chuck a child. Get the fuck in there. Oh boy. Amuro? Mobilusutsuda! Alright, you're alright, kid. You're okay. Yeah, get the hell out of here. What are you carrying? What are those? Oh, wow, that looks great. You're the captain now. Wow, a lot just happened very quickly. Okay, right, not Jean. Slender survived? But it do, though. They don't think it be like it do. Or be like it is. Oh, he's so Reinhard. I know that it's earlier, but... Ah! She here! Hello! Please have a personality that allows me to like you as much as your appearance does. Well, she seems just competent, so sick. Yep. Let's try to save this man. Shit. We are defenseless. We are helpless. Ho ho. Where's Papa Ray? I know that he got sucked out because GK mentioned it to me. But he was in a suit. Ah. Oh, what? Who? Oh, but we know. Right. Okay. I know who is in it. Oh. Well, that probably fucking helps. Thank you, Mirai. This is a weird translation issue. Admiral Dozel? White base. Oh, wow. What a look. Char the Red Comet. Is that a pretty cool name, my man? Yeah. Nani? Good luck. Fun little camera movements. This is true. Wow, he's going himself. That's kind of cool. Nope. It's just a boyo. Ah. I think Mirai's gonna step up. He's a child. Yep. Yep. Hello. Hi. I'm here to save lives and kick ass. I'm a beast. Because I'm a beast. I study engineering books, boyo. Yeah, he is. His reputation precedes him. Damn right. Oh, and he's humble too. All right, all right. You'll do no such thing. Oh, the gun tank, I assume. Hello. Hi. Well, that's us. Can we? Yeah. All right, all right. All right, I love her. I'm in love fully. Winning. Absolutely winning. Is there a reason she's blue, or is that just her shadow? Sayla. Sayla Moon. Sayla Venus. Sayla, I'm in love with you. Please, please marry me. Holy shit. Just runs up to the guy and smacks the shit out of him for leaving people behind. Sweet. Oh, signaling. Mega particle cannons. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, wow. That looks great. That looks great. Hey, pink explosions. Wow, wow, wow. Nothing, I got this. Give him something. Yeah. No, he ain't. He's in it. Yes, there have. It's probably not a good thing, but we gotta do it. He's in the robot. Got nobody else. And a hero is born. Not really. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not use the super napalm. Okay, I guess we're using the super napalm. That sounds bad. So it burns in space or some shit? Crazy. I will switch back to the other subtrack in future because these are weird. That's Char. Yeah, you take your fucking gun, girl. Let's go. Okay, I switched subs. Ciao. I love the way that she runs. I really do. Well then, okay. Damn right. She looks like you, kind of. Right? Tell me you're not fucking siblings or some bullshit. Okay, we meet Char. Whoa! I thought she was like 20 feet away from him. I'm sorry, who? It's more than that, baby. Bye, Shaw. Oh, he's got jetpacks. No, you're not gonna be able to hit that boy. That boy gone. Wait, what? Please climb onto my hand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm in love. Oh, faux show. My brother? What? Kung, kung, kung. Whoa. Fuck. Bright. That's his name. Not gonna be able to hit him. He's got that plot armor. Oh my god, he is in. Hell yeah, kid. Kick his ass. Oh, why do their muscles do that? That's weird. Super duper ballsy by Char to do all of this though. You gotta respect it, honestly. Like if he were the good guy, this would be the craziest, dopest mission ever. It still kind of is. Dude, he just blew his way through the sides of the ship. How much jetpack runtime does he have? I guess infinite, it doesn't matter. He's gone. Can't shoot a person, huh? Eh. Okay, so he's suiting up. Oh, he's got a special pink Zaku. Of course he does. Oh, Raja. So yeah, that's clearly that's why we put Sayla in the pink so that we make the association, and she's clearly related. Ha. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So our new crew opens. Hello, children. And we have got white base on the move. Let's go. Hmm. Ah. Ah. It's not great. We're all newbies now. We're all underdogs now. Oh, there's Zaku's. Are they missiles or are they Zaku's? Do it. Do it. Yeah, you can shoot those. Boom. Nope. Oh, that was close. Those are the Zaku's. Oh, the Red Comet. So that's how he's got his name. The what? The who? Wow. Nigerundayo. Holy fuck. He's out of his gourd. He's cracked. Oh, we were one-on-oneing? Are we gonna fucking cut to... No, we got enough time. We can one-on-one. Pew! Wow. Nani? Shit. It did nothing? What's up? We got armor. Oh, he sees war. Music is on point. Whoa. Fight that giant pink cyclops. Let's go. Yeah, you are outclassed. It's only because he's a total newbie that you're not able, or that he's not able. Fuck. Yeah, punch him in the face. Woo! Or almost. Hey, the core fighter. Can I buy one? I think I can. Fully dead. That was Slender, right? Rest in peace, buddy. Yep, that was Slender. Oh, I love the color of the explosion. Yep, much more powerful weapon. That seems to be precisely what it is. But he's gonna learn from this, isn't he? He might. That's the core fighter, dude. And that shit's definitely a problem. Oh, it's depleted. You got one shot. You got no shots. But he's gone too. So our first combat ends in a stalemate. Ooh hoo hoo. And Char has something to overcome. Ooh hoo hoo. Good, 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 good. Sweet. Oh, is that fucker? Can somebody go slap him again? No. You don't get to give me a peace sign. Hi, Frau. Oh, Haru's safe. Haru is safe. That's all that matters. Hi. Okay, I saved all y'all lives. All y'all's lives. But you're right. Holy shit. Okay. Welcome to war. I'm digging these more detailed close-ups. There's no going back. Oh. Nah, you're gonna be our best friend, dude. Give it 20 episodes. Give it 20 episodes, and we're gonna be tight. We're gonna be thick as thieves. Fuck that guy, though. Okay. And that's Fiend, isn't it? Boom. We're in previews. Ooh, look, guns and stuff. I don't want to see previews. Honestly, don't want to. I know they're spoilery. Woo! we did do exactly what I wanted. We met some characters. I love the more detailed close-ups in this final scene. They're really cool. Like, suddenly we've got some like legitimate shadow and shading going on. And then the unique methods of creating these lines around the face are really cool. I really, really like it. I really like a lot about this episode. Um, in most of the super robot shows of the genre, this second episode would be some bad guys come. Amuro defeats them handily with the power of his Gundam, right? And they either go back with their tail between their legs or are just completely obliterated, right? Char doesn't go on his own and actually make a good mission. Instead, just a couple of random Zaku's get thrown at you, and we defeat some Zaku's, and it's just like episode 1, and we save the day. That's not what happens here. Instead, Char manages an incredible infiltration operation, does it basically solo all the way through, gets a bunch of images and a bunch of ideas about what kind of technology the Federation is actually able to use and able to bring to bear here. And what that means to me is that Char is going to go back and he's going to tell his engineers what to do, and they're going to come up with better suits, better Zaku's, like a next generation that can actually challenge the Gundam, right? And so we'll have this constant like arms race. It feels a lot more legitimate, a lot more real, even though it's based on one freaking dude being the crazy red comet and solo jetpacking his way through an entire space station while chucking grenades to clear the path in front of him and evading like 400 bullets being shot at him constantly. Utterly insane, but also fucking super dope. Okay, let's run through the episode full bore. I think we will watch 2 episodes today because this one's super cool, but it's not gonna be like an hour-long discussion, I don't think. Well, man, the rockets look great, don't they? The smoke trails look amazing, don't they? All of this is hand-painted on cells. I just need to bring that back up, right? This is all hand-painted on cells. That actually genuinely boggles my mind with how fluid some of the motion through all of this really looks. Oh, her Yuri. Oh, look, Haru. Haru is safe. I love how, I don't know that I love it, but the children are so differently designed from all of the people. All of the people's character designs are relatively realistic, and then the children look like Powerpuff Kids. It's crazy. This is a really awesome, quick, tense scene as she's getting all the children together, and boom, an explosion coming down a hallway and debris flying toward them. Absolutely terrifying, but Amuro is there. So cool. So cool. The way that the characters are just churned through really rapidly makes this very scary and makes it really feel like there is conflict and there is war here. And we meet Sayla. My one note for Sayla was Sayla, __, I am in love. Yeah, no, I was really hoping that she would have a personality that would make me like her as much as her character design does, and she do. She super do. Just, I mean, she's on it. She's working. She's doing the things. Our captain is passing away. Maybe he'll survive. I don't know. But regardless, pretty much everyone who's capable of doing the primary jobs on this ship is out of line, out of order, destroyed, on the floor, wrapped up in bandages. And so a bunch of civilians, basically, a bunch of people with only similar knowledge or similar experience have to step up to the plate and try to save everyone in this circumstance. And something about that rings interestingly. It puts all of these people into an interesting position and sets up what will be the unexpected crew that becomes White Base, I assume, and like they are the ones who are gonna do all this shit. Oh, something's going wrong with the subs. I think it'll fix itself on the next line. Yeah, there we go. 2 are lost to a single Federation mobile suit, but I think nope, they're fixed. Okay, great. So off goes Shar with his commandos. Look at these scenes and these ideas. I love how different the like Xeon architecture is to the inside of the Federation battleships, like these giant ports with the iris style doors and all this cool stuff. They're just so clearly the bad guys in so many ways. It's really neat, and I really love all of these locations and these internal places. They feel right. I'll also say that as I'm watching through this, like usually when I watch shows, I've got a mind for or an eye perhaps for like, oh, here's what's going on compositionally, here's what's going on with this and this and this. And none of that is present in my mind. And maybe that's just me today, right? Like maybe that'll come back when we next watch the episodes next week, right? Maybe it's just that I'm not on in that particular way today, and I just want to experience the story, and that's totally fair. The way that I experience stories changes from day to day and from session to session and all that jazz. But I think it also has something to do with the nature of the show. All of this background stuff flows so seamlessly, and the composition feels so seamless that it's kind of just out of the way of the storytelling. It's doing everything that it needs to demonstrate everything that it needs to for me to understand what's going on in the story. But what I'm here for is that story. I'm not like getting sucked into crazy compositions or cool shots and stuff, right? I'm not distracted by the production of the show. Instead, I'm focused on what's going on in the show. And I think maybe that's the next level. Um beyond like, wow, really impressively put together thing, when it gets out of the way completely and is just used as an element or a vehicle for conveying the information that I want, which is what happens to these characters, what happens next, what's going on, what's the action, what's the driving force of the show. Maybe that's the next level of production, is that it doesn't get in your face, instead it's in the background as it kind of is. That's an interesting thought that I've had now, and it makes me question some of the ways that I look at the way that I look at production. It has to do to some extent with some of the stuff in this book about the way that composition and such is used for conveying information. But because this book is advice for authors, advice for artists on how to compose their shots, it ends up being, as someone who's doing the analysis portion of it or looking at things after they're created, it ends up that I end up focusing on these things when perhaps I should be focused on the way that they further the goals of the story, not so much them as artistic pieces in and of themselves. And I think that's an interesting thought to have, or to be spurred to have by a show like this. The big reveal that it is a child in the seat of the Gundam right now is pretty interesting. The way that this is done. I don't know what I would compare it to exactly, but it feels like a flip of what I would expect. I don't know. It's very interesting the way that everyone responds to having him in the suit. Of course, he's young, and they don't want him there for that reason. Okay, so these characters, they do their little run, stop, and hold. Frame changes. Captain has ordered us to look for anyone left behind. This guy is just like, sorry, I was trying to survive. Guess I'm out. You coming? And Sayla, hardens in the face, runs up, schmack, get schmacked on. Hey, look, that's our second schmack of Gundam. The first one was schmacking Frau Bao, because she needed to get her shit together and survive. And the second one is Sayla smacking the fuck out of this guy. Yeah, no, you gotta prove yourself, buddy. I don't like you very much because you left people behind. You were focused on your own survival. To be fair, we almost all would be doing exactly that in this sort of circumstance. We like to think that humans are good at altruism and good at looking after each other, but that's not always the case. Self-saving is very often what occurs in circumstances like this. I'm wondering, I don't think that she's no, she must be wearing like a turtleneck or something underneath her jacket. I'm actually thinking in terms of like expected like clothing and modesty for a character, a female character in this day and age. Of course she's wearing something. It's just that there's no like black line on her undershirt that throws me off. So I was wondering. No, there it is. Okay, so we see that this is just a high collared shirt underneath. Cool. And off she goes. I don't know why she says stop talking to me like some kind of street punk, but then she does this whoosh of hair, and I don't know. I just see rose petals and smell perfume. Um, like I'm so into this character design. I'm so into her. Oh, I loved the way that this whole scene looked. The little glow, and then the boom, and then they individually turn white with shading on them, and then the whole thing shatters and gets blown out by the light. That's really cool looking. I really like the way that that looks. Bunch of explosions, bunch of pink. Heard about this from a different show. I don't remember when we were talking about this, but apparently there was a ton of extra pink paint for Gundam, and so they made a lot of the explosions pink. I don't know if that story necessarily holds up or is 100% true, but I'm going to buy it because it's interesting that all the explosions are pink because they had the paint for it. Kind of makes sense. It also makes them really unique looking and kind of cool. Okay, so Char on the attack, on the infiltrate even more so. So they drive around and we see a soldier. Clearly something strange going on because he's in pink, but so is she. What's up with that? They're both wearing pink and with blonde hair. Move and I'll shoot. Yeah, no, she is way out of range of a kick. Come on, man. What, you got extendo legs? But he whips it all off and makes a look, and she seems to kind of recognize him, and he seems to kind of recognize her. But then he says, but she's too strong to be Artesia. So I'm going to guess that his sister was Artesia, and they were separated when she was very young, and she ended up in the Federation and in their system and stuff, and like being raised there and being a part of things there. But then he thinks that she was lost or something, and now he rediscovers his sister. I'm going to guess that she actually is his sister and is like biologically Xeon. Not that that fucking matters at all, right? I'm hoping that she's not a traitor because that would suck. And away he goes, and we pick her up and off we go. I love the sense of scale in all of this, and having her lie down. It all kind of makes sense. This is also just a really cool scene. We're just sliding him across, but it's really cool. Gundam Rising, baby. Woo! And then Char goes for the absolute craziest nonsense where he flies through this location with dozens of people shooting at him continuously, and he's just zooming, throwing grenades, blowing up hatches, and getting his way out of here. And he gets out. He starts to fly away, and Amuro has the chance to take the shot, but he can't do it. Now, Char sort of says some stuff that's like, "Oh, we're small targets, we can't be hit." But like, no. If you're in the sights, he pulls the trigger and he shoots you and you die. So something else is going on here, and I feel like it's a momentary hesitation from Amuro, a repeated momentary hesitation. Amuro's been fighting suits, and suits are not people, right? There's none of that specific connection. There's something different about shooting somebody who's just in a spacesuit, right? And this sort of is that undercurrent of war bad that is a core theme of this show already, and has been set up pretty solidly in both of the episodes that we've seen. But we also spend a good bit of time inside the cockpit with Amuro and seeing him struggle with this. And I think that's really good, storytelling-wise, for us to relate to this character and understand that this is not a superhero who's just like, I do what's right and I shoot the bad guys. This is a kid. He's 15. He plays with robots, and so he's in the robot, but shooting a person is a totally new concept for him, right? It's not something that he expected he would be doing, and it's not something that he's prepared for, and it becomes an issue, because I think that if he hits Char here, the story ends differently, right? because this isn't the classic super robot show where the bad guy shows up and we defeat the bad guy and on we go with the world, and then a new bad guy shows up and we defeat the bad. Like, Char doesn't get defeated here. Char doesn't get defeated probably ever. I'm guessing he doesn't. He's too interesting. He's got too much going on. Now, I could be fully wrong. He could die in 5 episodes, and people are just so into Char that Char imagery and stuff has remained a cornerstone of the identity of Gundam. But I don't think so. I'm gonna go with probably not, fam. This isn't that. And instead, Char gets to go back, and Char gets to have a bunch of information on what the Federation has to bring to bear. And a lot of that is probably going to become new robots on their side. So we shoot down some missiles. This gets really tense. He misses the missile, and he almost lets it explode the fuck out of their whole ship. But no. And boom, we get to go head to head. Char gets in a robot, and he goes to fight, and he finds out that the Gundam is quite powerful. I think there is the first... Yeah. I think it is the first shot reuse in the entire show from episode 1 to episode 2. Is the second time that he goes to fire on not that guy, because he shoots that guy, but the second time that he fires on Char, and Char zips out of the way, and then we see Amuro. I don't know exactly where it is. Yeah, I don't know. And besides, it doesn't matter. I really like the way that this space battle is paced and put together. All of this happens over the course of, like, here's Char incoming at 1845, and then Char leaving is at 2118. So basically 2.5 minutes is this whole space battle. And I think it works. It all works. There's a bunch of stuff that is fully pulled in from this into stuff like Evangelion, and other robot shows. The shots of people inside cockpits. Oh, okay, yeah. Shots of people inside cockpits. The explosions. This particular red frame scream here, the color swaps from him to red and from Char to blue are really cool. The speed lines on the inside of the robots to be like an emotional moment as opposed to a physical moment are really cool. It all really works, and there's this not non-space, so that zip across and then away, and then him is kind of is somewhat reused. And I think that's fine. It's the first element that we've had reused at all. And that's kind of really impressive, I think. Exploding the Zaku. Char's he seems to actually care about his underling, right? And that's kind of weird. It's not, oh no, the suit, right? Or my backup. It's Slender. This is a person that he knows, right? This is war, right? He might be on the bad guy side, but this is war. And these are people that he knows, and they're dying. And Amuro is the one killing them. Is anyone right here? I don't know. It's pretty interesting, though. It's also a great-looking scene. How can this be? We also introduced the core fighter, which is good. Which is cool. They will come after us, Amuro, and then she stops, and then Bright comes up and talks to him, and basically says, kiddo, you gotta get better. You're relying too much on how good the Gundam is. Grow the fuck up. You can hate me if you want to, but you gotta do this. You're the pilot now. And he is humble, and I can't promise that I'm up to it, but I don't have any other choice. And I think that and he cuts him off, I don't mind if you hate me. You're responsible for it now. This is yours. Rise to the occasion, bud. Wow. So there's some harsh and interesting character drama going on here in the background, and I'm excited by that. I watched a documentary that GK sent me, or actually not a full documentary, just little teeny snippets of it. that were edited into like a 15-minute piece that was really interesting. But apparently there will be some white-based family drama type style things, and I believe it was Tomino who credited that for a pretty solid fan base of a younger female audience who was into Gundam, something that most of the Super Robot shows could not ever hope to acquire, that kind of fan base. But because of the character drama, they were drawn in by it. And I, as well, am interested in the character drama. It makes things a lot more interesting than just, harder, I'm a robot, fight, 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 right? There's something else going on, and there are actual characters having actual interactions, which to me are some of the more important things about the about shows, about media, about everything in general. And I'm excited to see more of that and see what we can do talking about the way that these characters in a pretty simple universe with pretty simple characters so far will interact with each other, and whether we can glean anything about our own relationships from their relationships. I'm excited by that. Speaking of relationships, Sayla's really cute. I want a relationship with her. What? I didn't say that. I'm what? What? So this was episode 2 of Mobile Suit Gundam. The last thing that I want to do before we go ahead and move on from here is I want to go to Sakagaburu, because apparently our good friend GK put up a bunch of production materials for this episode, and a bunch of stuff by Yasu, by Yas himself, that should be interesting. So give me a sec to pull all that stuff up, and we'll go through it and see what we see. See you in a minute. Woohoo! Look at all them production materials. So all of these yellow ones, I'm going to assume most of these were, user G Kalai, user G Kalai, user G Kalai. GK put up all of this shit. I think literally all of this GK put up. Bruh. Thank you. GK, let me know if you've got, like, something that you want me to shill, cause you deserve it. No, but seriously, if you've got a plug for any projects that you're personally working on, let me know. I'd be happy to shout you out in that way. So in yellow are Yas's productions, are Yas's corrections on other animators' art. And GK said that I should look at some of this stuff to just take a gander at the way that Yas creates consistency in the art between different like animators and different artists, and immediately it's apparent, like, the corrections that he's doing have this really cleaned up style, that's more than just like making sure that details are right. You can see the alteration in the face and look of Char here, like his mouth is narrower, the way his collar of his suit sits on him, the way that the helmet sits on his head creates a very different feel and a kind of a rounded, more flowy feel to his character design. And then there's also this attention to creating the right angles of his helmet, because Char as a character design is basically like a Batman character where this part is all that we see is just like nose and mouth. And then there's this secondary element, which isn't human. It's a different design, but it gives us a feeling like if you cut off this bottom half of his face and look at the helmet, it's got its own vibe to it. And that vibe is not necessarily sinister, which kind of I get more of a sinister feeling from this than I do from this. Now, clearly, his helmet is similar to the Darth Vader helmet, which is, of course, similar to the British, I don't know what to call it, like the British, not safari helmet, but the British soldier's helm. What do I call that? The Brody helmet, maybe? Nope, that's different. Oh, nope, it's more like a Stahlhelm, which is a German helmet. Interesting. Regardless, I get that vibe from it, and then this whole piece in the front has its own feel. But we see here this creating consistency in his design and in the way that he, not just the way that he looks, but the way that he expresses is really cool. Okay, moving along. So similar sort of situation, cleaning things up. Something that I immediately notice about the difference here, and partly it's because these are corrections, so he's able to do this kind of stuff, but there's a strong confidence in Yas's line work. Like look at this line and then this line, right? These are just like shk, shk, shk. You can tell that he's drawing quickly and is immediately aware of what he needs to do in order to make things look the way that he wants them to look. And it's subtle. You know, you look at these and you're like, well, this is good too, and this is good too, but this is the style that we see throughout Gundam so far, and this is not. They're very different. And the manner of expression is very different as well. But the confidence of the strokes, the confidence of the line work is really impressive to me. Okay, let's keep moving through. Okay, so there's that, and wow, what a huge change there. Let me zoom this out a little bit so we can get both in frame. Huge change. The subtle curves of the lips are something that I, as like, when I'm drawing faces, I have a huge amount of trouble with creating subtlety in the expressions of the lips, and I think a lot of artists do, because even the slightest like movement of the pencil or movement of the pen creates a completely different facial expression, and that is exactly what we've got here, right? Like, this character almost looks like he's like gazing off into space when the scene is, this is, I think, the scene where he's looking up at Bright, right? And like, he's being sort of stubborn and sort of set. I don't know what this one is, but amazingly different, incredibly different. Wow. Okay. So this is an animated GIF of Char putting on his helm and then zooming away. So this is the previous and then the correction. The initial set looks really good, but it doesn't look like Char. The yellow set looks right. Like, there's more detail on the initial section. I wonder, I can't like pause this, can I? No, I can't, unfortunately. Okay, that's fine. And then clearly he was okay with the internal design of the face and just the motion he wanted to change. And the upper torso he wanted to shift. Gosh, it looks so good. That's crazy awesome. Okay. More similar stuff, simplifying, using stronger line work, using more clear expressions. Really cool. And similarly here, but also just creating consistency in the shape of his nose, the way that his eyes are set into his face. And also you can see these wiggles in the lines here, these like not confident lines in the left side Char versus these confident strokes in the right side Char. And I think that genuinely the strength of line work, or the speed and confidence of line work, creates a different feel in the character. Like, we register that subconsciously. That's pretty amazing. If you just focus on the area of the iris and the curvature of the eye, there's a huge difference in the expression being made here, right? This is just a guy being like, hello, and this is a guy being like indignant, right? Being intense. And that intensity really shows through on Char's expressions here. That's really cool. Okay. Wow. Huge difference. Spooked boy who knows that he needs to do this anyway. Do you see the difference here? And more importantly, do you feel the difference here? Because I do. This one, he's scared. He's determined. Right there. That's different. That's kind of crazy. That's amazing. Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Was there initially some intent to have a big scar on his face? I'm not sure. Okay. So this is also listed as Yas, and this is the actual view of the cut. Pulls this off. Oh, it's not a scar, it's just the lines of his face. The big kick, the fly back, the drop. Hello, Char. And then that's where he turns to the side. Wow, that whole correction was just for this like one moment as he turns here. And then here is where he puts this on and zooms away. Wow, it makes a huge difference, doesn't it? So, and then here's Sayla. Wow, really, really, he is key to the consistency of her hairstyle and how it blows in the wind. Um, but also just how she looks, the way that her face is much softer and rounder. You know, this artist over here, whoever it is, it's artist unknown, so that's unfortunate, but is going for like this pointed chin and this almost like three-part chin, right? The two sides come together and then there's the line below. And then Yas changes it completely to this one single curve that becomes her chin's shape. Fully changes the way the character looks. I would not fall in love with this character. I would fall in love with this character. This is the most interesting thing. I mean, this whole process of going through the corrections of these Ganga, um, and seeing how much Yas like changed the way that all of these characters look throughout the run of these episodes. That's absolutely amazing. Okay, here this one feels to me more like consistency than anything else. Being on model and more accurate and more right. Amazing. Amazing. Similar, but also like the expressiveness of the character is different. Then there's the softness of the features and the roundedness of the character that makes him more approachable in a way. You know, we talk about that, or we used to talk about that, or I used to hear about that a lot in graphic design because I worked in programming and I worked in web development, and I worked like across desk with a graphic designer. So we talked pretty frequently about the way that different shapes and different feelings of logos and elements and like buttons and this and that changes the way that we associate with them and the way that they feel like approachable. You'll see a lot of companies' logos and company designs where they're trying to be friendly, will be rounded and softer and have buttons with rounded corners as opposed to sharp corners, right? And if you go and you look at like older websites or older locations, you'll see sharp corners, and you'll see sharp logos and like an almost, you know, if you think of the designs of the logos for metal bands, right? Metallica has these like sharp lines that come down and it's a very pointy, very aggressive logo. Whereas if you look at like the Facebook logo and its evolution over time, it's very soft and very rounded and very blue and all of these things that affect the way that we as consumers, the way that we as viewers, the things that we associate with it and the way that we approach it. And I think the same is absolutely true for character design. And what this shows to me that it's not just the design on sheet of character, but it's the actual expression of that design in every frame that changes the way that we associate and approach these characters. And I think that's absolutely amazing. Cool. Onward. So no correction here, just straight Yas work on drawing Char the way that Char goddamn should be. And look at the boy. That's how that boy should be. Hell yeah. Amazing. More of the same. Consistency in the hairstyle, consistency in the curvature of the cheek and chin, consistency in the expression, the placement of the nose, the size of the eyes, all of these really subtle changes that clearly Yas just sees as he's looking at these and is correcting them. This is pretty amazing to see how much he changed all of this art. And the answer is like millimeters, right? A tiny bit. But the effect of that change emotionally and psychologically is immense. Absolutely immense. Oh wow, Frau. Now it's hard to register as these go by quickly because there are so many sketch lines in the red and in the blue that make this look different. But again, the softness of the features and the expression, especially in that last frame as she's kind of looking down, having wiped her eyes, that frame, and then that frame. There's a huge difference in the way that those read to me emotionally. And this focus on the simplicity of the hairstyle. You see that the initial artist is like trying to get the hairstyle down right, and then Yas just has it, the simple little folds. Like, it's that easy. That's all there is to it. We don't need to shade it that much. It's almost like an emergent thing, and with the shadows too, it's almost emergent from the rest of the thing, as shadows are. It's really interesting to see all of this. Okay, difference is immediately he's got a shorter, stockier, rounder nose. The expression on his lips is very different. It's much more confined and more focused on the ends of his lips, where the expressionism occurs. The eyes are vibrant. The irises are smaller and more focused. And then the hair is more consistent as well. The eyebrows being such an important part of the way that we read each other's faces, right? Like, we need that eyebrow look to understand how people look. It's why if you ever see somebody with their eyebrows fully shaved off who hasn't painted them back on, or even if they paint them higher, their ability to express themselves is dramatically diminished, because our ability to read their expressions is dramatically diminished. Even people with light colored eyebrows have a difficult time expressing themselves or being understood sometimes from facial expressions. But like, keeping them really clear and keeping this divide between them and the actual eye really clear, and then rounding out the features of the face, widening and rounding the chin. Really interesting. Really interesting to see the difference. Okay, this is presumed Yas stuff. This is the explosions, the booms, the bams. Oh, this whole sequence. This is a scary sequence. And this is all presumed Yoshikazu. I really love that idea of the like bubbles of weird paste that will get stuck in a breach and seal it up. That's really cool as a scientific idea. And then there's all this character stuff. I love the way that this guy runs or swings into this room. Really interesting. Okay. And then finally, blam, 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 blam. The big punch and the freezes and these highly expressive moments. Super cool. Yeah. And shooting for it. Super cool. Wow. Wow. What a little what a trip to see these corrections and to see them in play. It's clear that Yas has an eye for this stuff in a way that the other artists simply cannot match. Absolutely fascinating to me. So I think I'm actually going to change my mind, having spent some time on that, and we're going to stop it here after the first episode for today. I really liked this episode as well. Now that we've introduced most of the characters, or at least the prime characters, right? We did that in episode 1. We understand what's going on. We still don't know where Papa Ray is, but this episode is action from start to finish. They are attacking. Most of the staff that would be necessary to get us to safety is gone or injured or screwed up in some way, and Char is not letting up. He is just continuously sending himself and others into battle in order to harry and annoy and destroy and gather info, and we've got to fight back against it. There's a bunch of interesting hints here about different characters and their potential relationships to Zeon that we'll have to wait for. There are some really spectacular scenes as White Base, takes off into the ether, and a really spectacular space battle between Char and Amuro. With Char not expecting Amuro to be as powerful and as good as he is, or the Gundam to be as powerful as it is, and sort of being caught off guard there. And with Amuro being a total noob who needs a lot of work and needs to take this super seriously. Not that he's not taking it seriously, but he's a kid who jumped in the robot for the first time earlier today, right? So we get this sort of unfair example of both of their abilities in combat, but they see each other and immediately they are rivals, right? Very much like the beginnings of Legend of the Galactic Heroes with the first rivalries and the first conflicts. That's the way that we build a long-running rivalry between these characters, and we're just witnessing the first steps of it. Love meeting all these characters, love seeing people hop up and put themselves on the line in order to pilot the ship and run the missile batteries, and all of these inexperienced folks being trained by the previous generation of folks who are injured and unable to complete their duties. It feels like we're in it, we're going, and it's really cool. I really, really, really like this show a lot, and I'm continuously amazed by how much I like it. I like Gundam. Who I would never have thought that I would really like Gundam. So thank you for everyone who voted for Gundam. Thank you for everyone who's been watching it along. If you want the next reaction, which I think will probably be 2 episodes, maybe, it'll be up on the Patreon at the same time that this one goes live on YouTube, so go and check that out. If you want to throw likes and subscribes and stuff this way, they're all very helpful, they're all good, but most importantly, if you've got ideas or thoughts or information about the production or information about ideas present in the story, or corrections for things that I got wrong, or whatever, please throw them in the comments. It's awesome, and I love reading them, and I'd love to see it in there and chat about these shows. Regardless, this has been Gundam Episode 2. I enjoy it like crazy, and I hope to continue enjoying it come next week. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Gundam. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next week when we watch more. Peace.